Hey, what's up, everybody? It's DJ Modi here from What You Say Radio. Appreciate y'all always tuning in, locking it in with me right here, giving you the best content and information as I receive it and it comes in. Please hit that like, subscribe, and the notification bell so you can get all notifications when I post videos or upload some content to YouTube. So I definitely appreciate it. In this video, I want to discuss the NBA and the big firing of head coach Coach Tom Thibodeau out of the New York Knicks. It went down yesterday as the team made the announcement that they would be relieving him of his duties, and the team also thanked him on his way out. Now, Coach Tom Thibodeau had did a great job, an awesome job with the New York Knicks this year. I just want to start off and lead off with that. He won 51 games and led the team to the number three seed in the Eastern Conference, as well as he took the team to the Eastern Conference Finals with a big upset in the semifinals over the Boston Celtics. With that being said, a lot of people were curious when their season ended in Game 6 against the Indiana Pacers. Would he keep his job? And there was a lot of sentiment around analysts, top sports analysts, and ESPN, and all the other major media networks that he should keep his job based off of where he took the team. Again, with 51 wins this year, he had 50 wins last year before being knocked out by the Indiana Pacers in the second round in the semifinals. And then he also had 47 wins the year prior to that. So he went 47, 50, and 51 um, games won respectively and respectfully. And so he did have a nice two season run. Now, with all that being said, there's always a but. And with my but is I talked with a couple of my friends, and shout out to my partners that I've been doing fantasy sports with, and we've been friends for over 25 years. We've been doing fantasy sports, fantasy football, basketball, baseball for the last 25 years. And so we have our own conversations about free agencies and signings and the rookies coming into the league, the vets, and what teams should and should not do and things like that. And New York Knicks happen to be one of my one of my many favorite teams in the NBA. And so I was really looking forward to the New York Knicks making it to the NBA Finals this year because the window had opened. It was wide open for the New York Knicks to make it to the NBA Finals, especially with the upset that they pulled off with the Boston Celtics, albeit Tony with Tatum, Jason Tatum. I was about to say Tony Tatum, but Jason Tatum being injured, and I think it was the second game tearing his Achilles. It was either the second or third game in that series tearing his Achilles. Nonetheless, uh, injuries are part of the game, and so they still pulled off the win. And with that third seed, they were the top seed, so they had home court advantage in the Eastern Conference Finals this year against the Indiana Pacers. And I felt like they should have at least made it to the finals. And and here's the kicker for me. This is where the turning point came down for me with Coach Tibbs, and when I knew that the job was pretty much gone for him. If you rewind back, if you watch the series, if you watch that Boston Celtics series, though, it was Game 6. Game 6 was in New York, and New York was just, I mean, they were molly-whopping Boston all across the floor. They had like a 50, almost a 50-point lead or a high 40-point lead. Boston got it to down like 30. You know, this was in the third quarter. You get to the fourth quarter, it's like a 30 plus some lead. into the fourth quarter, and this was a point where I knew I had in my a gut feeling that it was over for Tom Thibodeau. He kept the players on the floor, and when I say kept the players, you already know Coach Tibbs does a short rotation, so he only runs six, maybe seven deep in his rotation, and so you got to think about that. Not only does he do that for the playoffs, but he does that during the regular season. So you're in the game six where you're headed to the Eastern Conference Finals, and you got your starters playing into the fourth quarter, well into the fourth quarter. I'm talking about, I think it was like 5 or 4 minutes left before he actually pulled the plug to take him out. I mean, you even had the assistant coaches like Rick Brunson, Jalen Brunson's dad, kind of whispering in his ear, and the assistant coaches kind of side eyeing him like, when's he gonna take him out? And Tibbs had this look on his face, like this intense look, like it's not over, and I'm gonna leave my players out there. Just think if Jalen Brunson gets hurt. Just think if Cat gets hurt, or OG Ananobi gets hurt during that game six. You know, that at that point, that moment right there, I was like, and I got the receipts. I text my friends. I'm telling y'all, I text him, and this is exactly what I told him. I was like, Tibbs, let me make sure I get it right. Knicks should fire Tibbs in the offseason and pursue Giannis or Durant and add some depth to their bench. I posted that. I mean, not posted that, but I texted that to my group on Friday, May 23rd, right? And I said Tibbs' player rotation is tired and it's old, and he refuses to change his ways. That, like I said, was to me the thing that put the nail in the coffin for Tom Thibodeau before they even made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. It's his ways that don't work. That old I know it's successful. It's been successful for him, but it's, how can I say this? Not been so successful for the players, i.e., Derrick Rose back in the day. Remember, Derrick Rose was like an MVP, a rising star, and I think he got ran and run so ragged that when he had that freak injury, he never came back the same. He was never the Derrick Rose again. Joakim Noah, another good center, an all-star center, whose career I think was kind of cut short as well because of all the wear and tear that was put on his body by Tibbs. And so, again, is it successful for him? Does it work for him? Yes. But I don't think for good players that it's a good thing for them as far as their bodies and their longevity in the NBA. And so that's one of the reasons why I thought it was over for Tibbs. Now, um, my wife talked about this because she's from New York. She asked me, why did they fire Coach Thibodeau? I was like, look, I knew this was gonna happen. I told my friends in our chat that he's gonna get fired or he should get fired. I was like, he did take him to the Eastern Conference Finals, but he should have at least got to the finals with that team, with the home court advantage in the Eastern Conference Finals. He's stuck in his ways. He and other things that I mentioned previously here. He won't change. It's time for him to go. It's time for him to move on, and I think it was good. They had their opportunity to capitalize. Had he made it to the NBA Finals, I'm fine with that. I think he far exceeded, like everybody's saying, he exceeded expectations, and in a way he did. But I think once the window opened up by beating Boston and Cleveland knocked out, the expectations then were higher, right? I think the expectations at that point became higher for the New York Knicks and Tom Thibodeau. I think the expectation for me, as a longtime Knicks fan, you got to make it to the finals. Now, you make it to the finals and you get beat by the OKC Thunder, who are going to win the NBA Finals. I think it's going to be a sweep. They're gonna they're gonna blow Indiana out the gym. It's gonna be a 4-0 sweep. I think it's gonna be the lowest rated ranked NBA Finals in history, the least watched NBA Finals in history, and yeah, that's just my feeling on it. So I say that to say this: it would have been no disgrace if you would have made it to the NBA Finals and got beat up by the OKC Thunder, clearly the best team in the NBA. That would have been acceptable. And so then, okay, you keep Tibbs. You keep Tibbs, you give him another year. You give him another year at that point. But I think, again, that loss, the loss in the Eastern Conference Finals, the expectations were raised, and he didn't exceed the expectations. And so you got to move on from him. And I can't believe that these analysts can't see this and don't realize, these things, these points that I'm pointing out here. So to put a button on it, let's take a look at the Knicks letter. I want to share that with you, thanking him again. You got to thank the man for his job and what he did with the New York Knicks for the last 3 seasons. He's done really good by them, and so I appreciate what Tibbs has done. Took us to the Eastern Conference Finals again, 47 wins, and then 50 wins, and then 51 this season. So nothing to sneeze at. He should be proud. Everybody should be proud of him. And here's what the Knicks had to say. And let me put my glasses on for this, y'all. New York Knicks announce today that the team has relieved head coach Tom Thibodeau of his duties, and that was yesterday, June 3rd. Our organization is singularly focused on winning a championship for our fans. This pursuit us led us to the difficult decision to inform Tom Thibodeau that we've decided to move on in another direction, said Knicks president Leon Rose. We can't thank Tom enough for pouring his heart and soul into each and every day of being the New York Knicks head coach. He led us not only with class and professionalism for the past 5 seasons he's been there, y'all. 5 years he's had it, but also to a tremendous success on the court with 4 playoff berths, nice, and 4 playoff series victories. Ultimately, we made the decision we feel is best for our organization moving forward. Tom will always be a part of our Knicks family, and we truly wish him nothing but the best in the future. All right, and there you have it. The New York Knicks take on, thanking Tom Thibodeau. Let me go back in here. Just one second. So yeah, that's my thoughts on Tom Thibodeau and the job he done. Again, I think he done a great job. Um, but it's time to move on. It's time to move on. And so, what are my thoughts on the direction the Knicks should go as far as moving forward? Of course, they got look for a new head coach. You got the free agency coming up. You got the NBA draft, which they have no picks. So the big two that are going to be free agents are Giannis and Kevin Durant. I think they should do whatever they got to do to bring Giannis first to New York. And if they can't succeed in getting Giannis, then go pursue Kevin Durant, who back a few years ago, instead of going to the Brooklyn Nets, he should have went to the New York Knicks. I'm speaking Kevin Durant at that time. Bigger brand, bigger market for him and his brand, along with the New York Knicks brand. But I don't think at that time he was thinking as a businessman. And so maybe he'll come back and try to make up for that mistake that he made going to Brooklyn with Kyrie Irving, and eventually Kyrie Irving, James Harden, and Kevin Durant, which I say, in my opinion, that is the greatest big three in NBA history and is the biggest failure ever in NBA history. Don't care what anybody says. You have James Harden in his prime. You got Kevin Durant in his prime. You got Kyrie Irving barely in his prime, and y'all can't get it done. That team is that's the biggest failure in NBA history, and I think that's another thing that analysts and people in the media overlook. But I will talk about that, and I'll address that in a later video because, yeah, I think people are overlooking that. But back to the Knicks. I digress. Let me get back to the Knicks. Um, Again, pursue Giannis, pursue Kevin Durant, try to get one of them. And then also, you don't have any draft picks for years because you got Bridges in the deal from the Nets. You gave up a lot of picks for him. You gave up a first rounder for Cat Williams to get him, which was, a upgrade. I think Cat Williams, call Anthony Towns. If I said Cat Williams, y'all, anytime other, my apologies to call Anthony Towns. Call Anthony Towns. Cat is what they call him. And so, again, I think that was a good trade for the Knicks. I think they got the better of that deal because Cat is a better shooter, rebounder. Uh, so, um, where else could they go as far as head coach? Head coaches, I've heard Mike Malone's name thrown out there, but I hear that he has a more similar style to Thibodeau, so I don't think that will work out. I never really watched Denver Nuggets. I'm not a Denver Nugget fan, so I didn't really watch their team and how he handled rotations and such. So I can't really say personally how I feel about him. I thought he'd be a good, initially I thought he'd be a good pick because he's a champion coach. He knows how to coach players, and so initially I thought he would be probably a good hire. There's been other speculation about Mike Brown. There's even been Jeff Van Gundy rumors thrown out there today, which I can't see that happening. I guess he's been an assistant coach with the LA Clippers this year. I didn't even know he was back in coaching Jeff Van Gundy. I thought he was still in media on the sideline. So as far as a head coach, they need somebody young. I would say somebody young, somebody fresh. Why not give Darvin Ham a chance? I don't think he got his fair shake with the Lakers. Why don't we give him another shot at a head coaching gig? What about Sam Cassell? Sam Cassell's been an assistant coach in this league for quite a long time, in the NBA for quite a long time. I'd like to see him get a shot at a head coaching job. So those are two people that come to mind for me: Sam Cassell and Darvin Ham. So we'll see how that goes. One of these, let's get some fresh blood, some new blood in there. A young guy, a young coach, and see what we can do. So that's my thoughts on the firing of head coach Tom Thibodeau from the New York Knicks. Again, I'm not here to stomp on him and drag him in the river, but I do think he had his opportunity, and I think the Knicks did the right thing, in my opinion, on moving on from him and turning the page. And so we'll see how everything goes in this offseason. I'll keep everyone updated on the NBA and the movements. And don't forget the NBA Finals starts tomorrow evening in OKC. It is the Oklahoma City Thunder versus the Indiana Pacers. Let me know your thoughts if you have any on the Tom Thibodeau coach firing. Do you agree? Do you think they should have kept him? Should have gave him more time? Who do you think is going to win the NBA Finals? Again, my prediction, OKC in 4 is going to be a sweep. Let me know what your thoughts are down in the description. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share the page, share the channel. Hit that like button, y'all. Hitting that like button helps the page grow. And so I definitely appreciate y'all. I will catch y'all in the next one. This is DJ Mo D signing out. Don't be good. Be great, y'all. Peace. What you say?